We begin here with some tragic news out of Bardstown. Employee died at the Heaven Hill Distillery after an accident this morning. Details about how and where that accident occurred on the distillery's property have not been released, and they haven't told us who that person was. The Nelson County Sheriff's Office said the accident remains under investigation. And a statement from the company today said, in part, we are deeply saddened by this loss and extend our heartfelt condolences to the family, friends, and colleagues affected by this tragedy. We'll keep you updated as soon as we learn more. Well, it is a big night for U of L volleyball. They take on the top-ranked Pitt this evening in the championship semifinals, and our sports reporter Sarandon Raboyne shows us how the team is embracing the pressure of being in the Final Four.
There's no place like home court advantage, especially for an NCAA Final Four. Louisville is embracing all of the hometown connections in this championship series.
How you guys? Did you have fun today? Yeah.
I just want people in the country to know that volleyball is a big deal in this state, and it'll continue to be a big deal, and that's how you grow a program, and that's how you sustain it, is when people care. And I think the chance for the Final Four to be here is a chance for us all to show that we care about the sport and want to be a big part of growing it.
One of the people helping grow the game is ESPN analyst Katie George. The Louisville native played for the Cards and knows how far this program has come.
It's really special for me to be here, to be able to call a national semifinal and final. You know, I always dreamed of playing in one as a player. Didn't happen, sadly. My standpoint, I'll have a sense of pride, just that everybody gets to see what a hotbed Louisville is in terms of the sport of volleyball and how supportive this community is of the sport and this program.
But yeah, I've had a lot of requests, and I have no doubt that it's going to be packed, and I'm hoping the diehard Louisville fans found their way in and didn't have to pay too much for a good seat.
Louisville is vying for its first ever volleyball championship in this Final Four, but first they face Pitt on Thursday. That game will start at 6:30. Reporting at the KFCM Center, I'm Sarandon Raboyne, WHAS11 on your side.
Nebraska and Penn State will face off in the second semifinal game about 30 minutes after the U of L game ends. The winners will compete for the title at the Yum Center on Sunday at 3 o'clock. Explosion you heard right there. 65 South back open after a near 6-hour closure overnight. A truck caught fire just before 7 yesterday evening, closing all lanes of the interstate near the Eastern Parkway exit. They reopened around 1 o'clock this morning. The truck was carrying either hay or straw, which caught fire first. The driver of the truck appeared to be okay. A former Louisville Catholic school teacher pleaded guilty to child sex crimes after maintaining his innocence for months. Earlier this year, Jordan Fouts was accused of editing student photos onto explicit images. He changed his plea in court yesterday and was part of a part-time religion teacher at St. Stephen Martyr Catholic School near Audubon Park. He's expected back in federal court on March 19th for his sentencing. The Elizabethtown Police Department is sounding the alarm on a public health crisis. Officials there say there are Percocet pills laced with fentanyl circling around the community and confirmed they are responsible for at least one person's death. Elizabethtown Police said the pills are very similar. Take a look at your screen, but the laced ones do not have as sharp of cuts to them. After recording multiple overdoses and that death connected to this drug, Public Affairs Officer Chris Denham said they need to warn families.
Overdoses are often fatal, and just imagine the void that would create in the family members' lives should something happen to them. Everyone is impacted by drug abuse.
Now, at this time, police do not know how many are out there, but they're encouraging anyone with these drugs to hand it over to law enforcement. Police said you can surrender them without fear of punishment. They also encourage people to call their tip line if they can direct officers to the drugs. That number is on your screen. That's 1-800-597-8123. Well, starting January 1st, a new law will crack down on vape pens in Kentucky. Nicotine vapes will now need FDA authorization in order to be sold in the state. As of now, only 3 manufacturers have been approved by the FDA to sell those e-cigarette products. The law also adds fines for any businesses caught selling vapes to people under 21. Now, on a 4th strike, that business would lose the ability to sell vape products for a whole year. Local store owner Troy LeBlanc is anticipating some big impacts on businesses.
Jobs are going to be lost. We're going to close down several stores, and A lot of our customers are either going to have to go way up in nicotine, or they're going to have to go to smoking, or they're going to have to buy things illegally online.
So to skirt around these changes, LeBlanc is opening a store across the river in Jeffersonville in January. Some Kentucky lawmakers want to expand the bill in the next legislative session, and that includes State Senator Jimmy Higdon, who represents Nelson County.
My main objection to the bill was that it just didn't go far enough to restrict underage vaping. I wanted more enforcement, or more tools and more teeth in the bill to allow law enforcement and ABC to deal with the bad actors.
Higdon is hopeful he can add a license requirement that would fund inspections. Well, the long-delayed Real ID deadline is 5 months away, and millions of Kentuckians have yet to make the switch. Starting on May 7th next year, the Transportation Security Administration will begin to enforce your Real ID identification. And of the nearly 3.6 million licensed individuals in the state, only about a third have upgraded to a Real ID. That means nearly 2.5 million people in Kentucky are still carrying non-compliant IDs they will not be able to use when taking a domestic flight starting next summer. It is possible many of those without one are planning on using a different form of identification at airports, like a passport. But this is a good reminder that next summer, if travelers at airports across America try to use an ID that is not Real ID compliant, they will be turned away at security.